Let's face it, us drivers would all like cheaper fuel. So how about a fuel that's good for the environment and free, using a device that claims to allow your car to run on water? For the first time, we put a water fuel-powered car to the test. Using water as fuel may seem far-fetched, but I've come to meet a driver who's taking his car to be fitted with a device that claims to do just that. Graham Mace from Norfolk is keen to clean up his 4x4's green credentials. He found an attractive device on the internet. The manufacturer claims for every 5 litres of diesel he now uses, his engine will soon burn only 4. Or even less. The rest of the fuel will be provided by nothing more than water.
Find out how you could save money with Hydro Fuel Systems in Aylsham.
I heard some advertising on the local radio at the end of last year and thought it sounded quite an interesting idea, so did a bit of research online, all seemed to stack up, so I think I'll give it a go.
Was it to save money, or is it because this is quite a big car, isn't it, and they all say it's a gas guzzler?
Yes, I guess I do sometimes feel a little bit guilty about driving a big 4x4, so I thought if there's something out there that could reduce the emissions, improve the mileage, and hopefully at the end of the day save some money as well, that seems like a good thing to do.
Graham's device was supplied by Hydro Fuel Systems in Aylsham, Norfolk. It costs £295. Fitting is extra. They told him his Range Rover will save between 10 and 30% on fuel with their device. It is supposed to be a do-it-yourself kit, but Graham has played safe and convinced his local garage to fit it for him. But even for an experienced mechanic, it's not that easy. Hydro Fuel Systems are not the only ones selling water fuel devices. They're all over the web, and they've even had favourable reviews in car magazines. And they're all based on a simple scientific principle: electrolysis. This setup shows how these devices work. Here we have the power supply. In the car, this would be the car battery. It's connected to 2 electrodes dipped into a container of water. Switch on the electric current and we get bubbles of oxygen and hydrogen. According to Hydro Fuel Systems, this oxygen and hydrogen added to diesel or petrol contributes to the fuel and gives the engine better fuel economy. However, the pursuit of a more efficient 4x4 does require a lot of nurturing by Graham. Every month, the whole system has to be drained down and carefully refilled.
This is just rainwater that I've collected and bottled up. We've been basically trying to keep an eye on and measure exactly what fuel consumption we've been getting, so I've been keeping a note of the actual mileage when we filled up, and then when the tank's empty, filling it up again, recording how much diesel's gone in and the mileage. So far we've not seen any improvements at all. I'm speaking to the company who bought it off, and we think there's some kind of technical fault, so next step is to get it back to them and try and resolve the fault.
From what you know then, do you think it's working for you?
At the moment, no, but I'm confident that we will get there.
Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Maybe fitting the device is trickier than Hydro Fuel Systems suggest. So just to make sure, Inside Out went to Hydro Fuel Systems in Aylsham and got them to supply and fit their device. Well, here it is. It's all fitted in the car, and according to them, it is working well. And I should now be saving fuel at the flick of a switch. Time to enjoy some guilt-free motoring. I can almost believe I'm driving a greener car.
Running on a Hydro Fuel System. It's cleaner, greener and leaner. I can get a lot more miles per gallon.
But to be honest, I can't really tell the difference, so I'll just pop in here and see if it's working once and for all. Millbrook Proving Ground is a purpose-built facility approved by the government to assess car exhaust emissions and fuel efficiency. Who better to test this new technology of burning water fuel?
The vehicle's on a chassis dynamometer which simulates different road conditions, And from this we measure the exhaust gases coming out, and from there we get a measure of the fuel consumption. And this is the official European test to measure emissions and fuel economy.
This is the first time that results of tests on these types of devices have been made public. For accuracy, the car is run through this test 4 times, twice with the device off and twice with it on. It will take 5 hours to complete. With more than 600 million cars on the planet, if they really allow water to be used as fuel, these devices could have a huge impact on saving resources and the environment. Graham's been road testing his Range Rover fitted with the HydroFuel system for a couple of months, and his figures aren't stacking up.
It's been running for about 1,500 miles with it on, and at the moment we've had no improvement in miles per gallon whatsoever.
So far, he has spent £700 on the device and the various modifications suggested by HydroFuel systems. He's still not saved a penny in fuel. Maybe the government-approved test being carried out at Millbrook might have better news. So Neil, the results are in. Does it work?
Well, from the tests that we've conducted, and we've driven it over different driving conditions in the laboratory, and we've got the different pollutants here, and I'm afraid for each of the different pollutants, including fuel economy, there is no improvement.
So is it leaner, greener and cleaner?
No, it's not.
And just to check the HydroFuel system hadn't conked out during the test, we pulled out the pipe to check it was still bubbling oxygen and hydrogen, and it was. I went to Cambridge for a scientific opinion on water fuel devices. Can the system allow a car to generate its own hydrogen fuel and increase miles per gallon?
No, it's not possible. The hydrogen has to come from somewhere. It's not free. When it's in the water, it's in a very low energy state. One has to put a significant amount of electrical power in to produce the hydrogen, and one doesn't get back. Unfortunately, as a usual sort of rule of nature, you get less back than you put in. And in the case of the system on a vehicle, a lot less. It's an impossibility. It would need a sort of perpetual motion machine.
Although the website looks pretty convincing, the science says they can't work, and our tests show they don't work. It seems that the extravagant claims for these HydroFuel devices don't hold water. I went along to Aylsham in Norfolk to meet Stephen Cordner, Director of HydroFuel Systems, but he refused an interview. He still claimed the system worked, but admitted he had no proof to show us. He said they had stopped selling the device. But beware, there are still other companies out there selling water fuel devices.